Well, it's a glorious evening here at Headingley. As you can see, this is the team the Rhinos hope will win by 10 points and so take over from St Helens at the top of the table. Lee Smith at fullback, then they go Scott Donald, Chev Walker, Keith Senior, Danny Williams, it's Danny Maguire and Rob Burrow. The forwards, couple of changes here significantly. Ryan Bailey, Shane Millard, he takes over from the injured Matt Diskin and Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Willie Poaching takes Gareth Ellis' starting position alongside Gareth Ellis, and it's Kevin Sinfield, the skipper. And on the bench, Ali Lauatiti, Mark O'Neill, Chris Feather and Carl Ablett, the youngster, for the Leeds coach, Tony Smith. The Wildcats, they have Tom Saxton at fullback, Colm Halpenny, Jason Demetriou, Ryan Atkins and Semi Tadulala. Jamie Rooney partners Ben Jeffries. The forwards, Duncan McGilvery, David March, Michael Korkidas, David Solomona, Ned Katic and Monty Beetham, who captains the side from loose forward. And the bench here occupied by Darryl Griffin, Jamie Field, Paul White and Adam Watine. The coach is the Wakefield version of Tony Smith, who says that for the first time in a long, long time, he has got 26 fully fit squad members to choose from for this match. And so there are some significant absentees, the like of Sam Obst, who played in the academy match just before this game here, and the French international Olivier Elimar. The South Standers, though, they demand success, and they know that if Leeds win by a margin of 10 points or more, they will go to the top of the table. They've won the last 5 in Super League and the Challenge Cup, though it did take Danny Maguire's drop goal to beat a determined Salford just 7 days ago. Wakefield travel here with great heart. Carl Kirkpatrick is the referee. The Wildcats are 10th in the table. They completed only their second win in 6 at Warrington last week. They have won 2 away games this year, that one at Warrington and at Harlequins. If they won here, Steve-O, it would be a significant scalp.
Certainly would, and both sides realise that they have to get these points for different reasons, of course. Leeds want to be up there at the top of the table, whilst Wakefield realise that Wigan have drafted in field and they want to avoid the drop. There's more interest at the bottom than there is at the top.
Well, I think it's equally divided, frankly. It's a fantastic race, top and bottom, and there's a chance that everything will go right the way down to the last match of the season. This is Semi Tadulala for the Wildcats, halted by the tackle from Chev Walker. This now Monty Beetham, who has been drafted into the Kiwi squad for the test match against Great Britain next Tuesday night at St Helens. There is March, and here is David Solomona. He gets the pass away. It's good defence on tackle number 4 from Danny Maguire and company.
Pretty safety first from Wakefield. It was expected. They have a big pack, and it could be a good kick and chase. It's not a bad kick either.
It's a great kick. It's just bounced its way beyond Williams. He's got work to do here. That's a great chase, led by the number 3, Jason Demetriou and Ned Katic. And, well, Wakefield will be up for this. As you can see, it's not a great record they have against Leeds Rhinos in the Super League, but they did win here significantly last Easter. It was one of the biggest surprises of 2005. Phil Clark, can they come up with a big shot in 2006?
I think they're helped by the fact that there's very little pressure on the Wakefield side here today. It's not a game that Tony Smith or his players would think that they have to win or are expected to win. To come in here and win is a great achievement, and I think that the fact that they won last weekend and the confidence they've taken from that will give them every chance. Ben Jeffries, who we saw in the opening minute, is a fantastic kicker of the ball, and if the rest of the Wakefield side can play with great defence, then generally they'll be in the right part of the field.
This is Tom Saxton, the fullback, signed from Hull following a loan spell in February and March. Saxton drives it forward on the first tackle. Colm Halpenny, the dummy half, well tackled by Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Here goes Semi Tadulala.
Pretty good defence from Leeds as well, and it was a good kick and chase there by the captain, Kevin Sinfield. He wants to prove to everybody that he should have been included in the Great Britain squad.
Well, it's time to go down to the press box where they will be voting for the man of the match tonight. Now, if you were with us on Boots and All on Wednesday, you'll have seen Dave Hatfield limping through his 3 Peaks challenge. We have a Jamie Rooney on show tonight. We have a metatarsal problem as well, don't we, Dave?
Yes, a nation holds its breath, Eddie. I think they might be more concerned about the performance of the players. Jamie Rooney's shown in recent weeks that he's the sort of player who knows what to do in the final minutes of a game when it's tight. Watch out as well for David Solomon, and he's a player who's embarrassed Leeds in the past. And Monty Beetham, a late addition to the Kiwi squad this week. Kevin Sinfield, again, he finds himself in this position owing to show through his club form that really deserves to be considered at test level. And we've got some players worth watching. Matt Diskin out, so Shane Millard, he's a very important player for him tonight. And Willie Poach, he's one of 3 former Wakefield forwards in the Rhinos squad.
Michael Korkidas with a high shot, and that's why Leeds have the penalty.
Well, they always play tough to Wakefield when they come up against the Rhinos, but this is not a good thing to do. It wasn't a real hard swing, but it certainly was into the chin. And it's given away valuable metres forward for this Leeds outfit.
First penalty of the match, Ryan Bailey will play the ball to Millard. He finds Jamie Jones Buchanan, March low down, Beetham over the top with a bit of help from McGilvray as well. Here's Millard. Gareth Ellis, who once upon a time was the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats captain. He led them to the playoffs a couple of seasons ago. It's Millard again, driving the ball forward. March halts him on tackle number 4, with help again from Korkidas. Sinfield, just dancing, looking for support. There it is from Millard. They go right with Maguire. Maguire then finds Lee Smith, and Lee Smith is spun to the ground by the tackle from Ben Jeffrey. This is Danny Maguire. Maguire to the in-goal area, and too deep.
Not a bad option, put under the pressure. Good work from Wakefield. They got back in numbers. There's part A of Tony Smith that you saw on the screen. He's the Leeds one.
And the other one, Tony Smith of Wakefield. He is Wakefield born. He made a name at Hull, Wigan and Castleford, of course, capped by Great Britain 5 times. And his last appearance as a player was the 2000 Grand Final between Wigan and St Helens.
Both sides, Eddie, really keen to just pick it up and run from action half-back. Leeds using their outside back. Wakefield again doing it with us.
March off the deck and finds Jeffries. Up the middle goes Korkidas. Offloaded and lost by Beetham. It was risky business from Wakefield in centre field, and that's even worse because they now have a penalty. Do the Leeds Rhinos.
Well, they're losing the plot. There's Tony Smith, Wakefield side, and not really the done thing. Normally Wakefield play pretty cautious, get himself into a good position. That's a second occasion. Silly swinging arm on this occasion, the hooker David March, and they can't afford to keep giving Leeds good position.
It's with Millard, and he finds Jamie Jones Buchanan. He was lucky to get away with that. The ball did go backwards, and Rob Burrow retained possession for his side. There is Kevin Sinfield, the skipper. Leeds, I suppose, delighted he's not playing for Great Britain. Gareth Ellis will be. Great play from Gareth Ellis. Wonderful try for Ellis and the Leeds Rhinos. And Wakefield paying for the early indiscipline. First try of the match. Gareth Ellis, the former Wakefield captain, joined in 2004 after leading the Wildcats to the playoffs that year, and he continues a great sequence against his former club. Tries home and away against them last year.
Superb work there, the little offload, and he did well just to hold up the defence. They were confused. It all came about with a silly high shot from David March, the second penalty within a couple of minutes. And watch the pass from Sinfield. The shimmy, he just sucked in Monty Beetham. And Ellis, what an outstanding effort that is. Against his old club, he'll enjoy that.
Well, Leeds aren't a team that need great field position to score tries. They're so quick, but that penalty certainly helped them. And what Kevin Sinfield does in the game is fantastic. 4th try for Gareth Ellis this season. Again, supporting, and the pass from Sinfield was the one that created that opportunity.
Gareth Ellis, he will be playing, you would imagine, for Great Britain at St Helens on Tuesday against the Kiwis, winning his 10th cap. This is Kevin Sinfield. He won't be, but he's added the extras, and Leeds are ahead by 6 points to 0.
You see quite clearly there that 2 men are going towards Sinfield. It creates the gap, and that's all you need. Simple, basic rugby league, but very effective indeed.
Ian Millwood, Wakefield paying for early indiscipline here.
Well, I think Phil made a very interesting point very early. Both teams playing low percentage and just running the ball from dummy half with their runners there. But it's interesting, the Leeds team, they don't have Matt Diskin in today. Who will they put in there when Shane Millard comes off and Kevin Singfield goes a little bit of a taste of delight? What he can do there, I think Burrow might also come in there. So ominous signs for Wakefield, because it is an area that you do target with Wakefield with their big forwards around the ruck, trying to blow them away there.
This is Keith Senior, tips the ball in field to Gareth Ellis again. They get him down 40 metres away from the Leeds line on tackle number 3. Millard. Here is Maguire. Saw Bailey, gave it instead to Sinfield. Sinfield gives it width to Chev Walker. Walker shown the sideline by the Wakefield defence, and they're going to push him over the line there. That's good harassing by about 4 or 5 Wakefield defenders then.
And it needed to be good as well. You just got the feeling that Leeds, the Rhinos, feeling pretty confident. That try from Ellis has lifted them. But Wakefield coach Tony Smith will have to get the message to them and say, look, fellas, we've not got into the opposition 20 yet.
Leeds needing just 2 tries now to become the first team to score 100 in Super League this year. Lee Smith with the tackle on Demetriou. It is now Tom Saxton for Wakefield. Just over halfway, plays the ball to March. He finds Jeffries. Jeffries, oh, there was nowhere for him to go then. Leeds were all around him. But they've got the penalty.
Just look how quickly Leeds were coming up though. 3 carries there. Hardly made a single metre, but that won't be helped now. Penalty, the first one for Wakefield.
Well, as the silly just lay on and effectively done the tackle. Getting back to that defence you're talking about, Phil, it's just that Leeds tight round to the play the ball area. They come in on an angle. You could see there that Wakefield were just squeezed down the middle.
That penalty will give them valuable territory. 6-0 Leeds Rhinos ahead here. Referee wants the second football removed from the field, which it now is. David March will restart. He gets the ball to Big Ned Katic, who caught one a bit high from Gareth Ellis. March again, 20 metres away from the line. Here is Rooney. And straight up the middle goes Michael Korkidas. Captained Greece against Malta in Sydney last year. Describes it as one of his finest ever moments. Here is Solomona. That's a great offload. Good defence though from Maguire, and it was needed also. Tadulala will run from dummy half. He'll give it to Monty Beetham. The ball spins out in the tackle.
Went backwards.
It's play on. And out wide they go. Colin Halpenny somehow managed to stop that from going over the whitewash. And Halpenny is grounded on tackle number 4.
Well, it's a good job. He's one of the tallest men in rugby league. Halpenny just got his fingertips to it.
Rooney dancing his way. He thought to the line. Jamie Jones-Buchanan thought otherwise. That's the last tackle. David March gives it to Jeffries. And they go to the air out wide. Walker's underneath this. Oh, and Tadulala's knocked it out of everybody's hand, has he? Was that a knock on by Tadulala?
He'll go to the screen.
Will give it to the video referee, Bob Connolly, to decide. Was it Tadulala who knocked the ball forward, or did Walker simply lose it?
Now then, Walker loses it, and Tadulala then touches it. Now Tadulala gets a hand to it, I feel, after the Leeds player has touched it.
Well, it will be going back from Leeds, it's going forward from Tadulala.
Yep, so there'll be no try.
It was interesting listening to the referee though. If the cameras hadn't been here, I think the referee would have awarded that try.
Well, it's a decision for Robert Connolly, and I think that Tadulala knows the decision, and it is the turnover. No try. He contested the ball in the air, but he knocked it forwards before grounding it. So 6-0, Leeds still ahead, 11 minutes gone. Well, the encouraging thing for Wakefield's Tony Smith, his team have got over the line.
Well, it stretched him on the very first opportunity that they've had.
Here's Burrow. He's such an elusive little character, Rob Burrow. They can't bring him down. They still can't get him. Oh, Solomona is there. Wigan ahead 6-0 against Warrington. Did you notice that?
Well, it's a dangerous game to play, this Wakefield defence. They're hanging off. They're trying to find out what's happening. I'll tell you what it will do if they keep allowing Rob Barrow all that room. He'll run straight through them.
Bailey grounded by 3 tacklers, still inside their own half. Leeds. Maybe the kick from Sinfield. No, he's running it and he goes wide and finds young Danny Williams. Had an impressive start to his Leeds career this year as Williams. He's having an extended run with Smith now at full-back for the injured and departing Richard Mathers. This is Maguire. He stabs the ball over the top. Saxton is waiting for this. Very gingerly, Tom Saxton got to the ball.
Smart thinking there by Maguire.
And he'll be very interested on Tuesday night what they do with the standoff position for Great Britain. I watched Danny Maguire play last week against Salford. He was the difference. Just he had a cutting edge about him. When there was an opportunity, he scored a try or created one. He's kicking the ball more than he ever has. He's really maturing as a player, and he was the difference. And that's probably, if you look at both teams at the moment, a little bit of class they have, Leeds, to get with their strike players.
Here goes McGilvray again for Wakefield on the last tackle. Leeds have restricted them to just 30 metres away from their own line before the kick comes in from Jeffries, and down the throat of Danny Williams it goes. They've got some pace in this Leeds outfit, they really have.
But you can see that every opportunity Leeds are drifting it out wide. Not leaving it just to the first receiver and then bringing the forwards back on the inside. It's 2 very long passes between the 2 halves, Maguire and Barrow.
Lee Smith. Halted tackle number 3, 40 metres away from his own line. There's Maguire at dummy half. Here is Willie Poaching, another former Wakefield man. Oh, releases the ball backwards, got away with it. They're taking the risks, Leeds. Here is Sinfield. Great ball over the top to Jones Buchanan. Wonderful movement from Leeds. This is Gareth Ellis. They can't get Ellis down. He'll offload it to Senior. He'll give it to Millard. Millard will give it to Burrow. And Burrow is tackled eventually. But that's sweeping Leeds move. Millard to Maguire, comes back on the inside. Poaching! Willie Poaching!
Breathtaking rugby league from the Rhinos. Running the different angles. Great support work from everybody.
Millard to Jamie Jones Buchanan. And on the power play, Jones Buchanan is halted by the Wakefield defence, who muscled up well then. That's the turnover.
Full credit, they got back in numbers and they had to, but they will be very, very tired indeed. When the opposition starts turning you around and running the angle so much, great work. They just got to it. A good job as well that Korkidas was coming back, because the little halfback Rob Barrow looked as though he was going to scamper straight underneath the sticks.
Good tackling by Keith Senior, who is Great Britain's only recognised fully fit centre for the Test match on Tuesday. Big hit by Kevin Sinfield then on McGilvray.
Well, one would expect, you know, that this Wakefield outfit perhaps would have taken the ascendancy in the forwards department. And he said that bounce, it was pretty close.
It was very close. Off the outside of the boot.
Ooh. He's got it, maybe.
It's a good decision from the touch judge, actually.
I don't think so. I think it hits a whitewash, but either way, they've got away with it. Yeah, the point I'm making is the fact that if Wakefield are going to have any chance to win this game, they've got to take the power in the forwards, really rip Leeds apart. But they aren't. It's the Leeds pack. Oh, and he's brought them back.
Yes, he's brought them back as Mr. Kirkpatrick.
But wasn't that last tackle? If it's last tackle, it's a handover.
Turnover, isn't it? Yeah. Well, everybody's talking to Mr. Kirkpatrick.
Yeah, well, I'll just tell Carl, it was last tackle, mate. You're going to have to give Leeds the ball. You watch him react here.
Is there a time delay on what he can hear when you speak here?
Yeah.
They are. That's the turnover. Well, that was where the...
I bet you wish the referees listened to when you was coaching Wigan earlier in the year, don't you?
Oh, you're not wrong there. You know, we were just on the wrong band. You know, I was talking to them, but we're just on the wrong band.
Well, at least this man, Mr. Kirkpatrick, will not bring out 3 yellow cards.
You hope. Well, he might do for 3 different players.
But not the same one.
Oh, Maguire dancing his way through.
Again, we see the Wakefield side just hanging off. They've got to get a little bit more impact, getting to their faces.
Sinfield finds Senior. Dimitri had a slap at him. And in the end, March got him low down and he was helped out there by Ned Katic. It's Rob Burrow. This is the last tackle. Sinfield will hoist the kick wide, looking for Chev Walker. and that ball's been knocked back.
It's a knock on anyway.
Wakefield knock on, says Mr. Kirkpatrick.
No doubt about it. Kajilala definitely got a fingertips to it then, and even more pressure. Well, Wakefield will be very happy if they can defuse this attack. Leeds are in fine form. They're just on fire here.
Well, I think Maguire's in fantastic form, and I think if you look at the defence for Wakefield, you know, they're trying, their body language is good. It's the speed that threatens them, but Steve-O, the speed of Burrow and Maguire threatens them around the ruck. And what happens is they're not in unison as a team. When a player goes in, the next outside defender must come in, and that's where they get their communication, understanding what the player does inside you defensively, you must follow. And that's why they're getting all over the shop around that area.
Ned Cattick has got a cut, I think, and he has been taken from the field. This is Sinfield, it's Ellis, here is Maguire. There's danger here for Wakefield because it's now with Senior. He brushes off two, he brushes off three, and he gets the try! Keith Senior with the try for Leeds Rhinos. He was so strong then, he bounced off three defenders, and in the end, the momentum just carried him home. There was no doubt about any sort of double movement there. And Keith Senior, one of 5 from Leeds in the Great Britain squad for Tuesday. This is his 260th appearance in Super League's weekly round, and it's 143 tries now.
Neat little work at the scrum base, but watch how they just hang on. The inside pass, that must have been about the 15th or 16th inside work that they've done on this Leeds outfit. And there's no stronger centre in the world than Keith Senior. Look at the upper body there. Bang! I'm going to slide over. No doubt about it. Dimitru couldn't do a thing. Look at this. It's there, all right. Ball carrying arm, never even touched the ground. That is the TRY.
Eddie, I think Wakefield were a touch unlucky there. The referee sent one of the players off the blood bin, but didn't allow them time to bring a replacement on for him. In fact, by the time he got on the field, the try had just been scored. I'm not saying it would have made a difference, but they've been a bit hard done to there.
Keith Senior will add to his 27 Great Britain caps, you imagine, on Tuesday. And just let me reiterate again, 264th appearances in Super League's weekly rounds out of a possible 283. No one has played more than Keith Senior. And Kevin Sinfield now with a chance to give Leeds the cushion of a 12-point advantage. Going off the post, and Leeds are ahead by 12 points to nil.
It appears their night, but it's fully deserved. Wakefield, they're bringing about their own downfall, giving away silly penalties, good field position, and when they are in a good position to apply any pressure to this Leeds outfit, they're making no impact whatsoever. But the way that Leeds are bringing people back on the angle, great stuff.
Well, almost exactly 12 months ago, Leeds beat Wakefield 70 points to 6 at Bellevue, and Ali Lawatiti was on the bench that day. He came off the bench and scored 5 tries, and he is on the substitutes bench again tonight.
Well, the Wakefield coach, Tony Smith, will have to be getting themselves sorted out, and yet again, silly play in a good advantage. They not once during the set of 6 have they stopped Leeds from getting up near the halfway line, and the only chance they've got is they're giving away penalties. Position, they just can't get hold of the ball, Wakefield.
On halfway, Rob Burrow gives it to Gareth Ellis. Demetriou gets him. Wigan have increased the lead at the JJB Stadium against Warrington. That's bad news for Wakefield, because of course Wigan and Wakefield both battling away at the foot of the table, as are Castleford, who are playing tonight.
Wouldn't be a bad idea for Tony Smith, whoever your coach, to make sure that message gets out. Wigan are leading 12-0. Come on, guys.
Wakefield trailing 12-0 here, midway through this first half. Millard, Darryl Griffin off the bench with the tackle. Jamie Jones-Buchanan, Rob Burrow. This time he's halted by the tackle. Tackle from Jamie Field. And Maguire, they're going out wide again. And that ball bounced and almost evaded everybody. And it's flung back infield by Ryan Atkins. And
Very
luckily,
fortunate there.
Ben Jeffries gets the possession and keeps hold of it for Wakefield. This is Tadulala.
Real mess up in that right-hand corner. Now it is so important that they do get to the halfway line at least, and then apply that kick and chase.
Solomona, who we thought about the offload as he went down.
There's no support. Second phase is poor.
Griffin. Well, he gets Wakefield to the halfway line. March, the kick has to be good here from Rooney. It's high. And Lee Smith's underneath it. Oh, he's made a mess of that. Jeffries is after this. I'm sure that he touched it. That's going to be a goal line dropout. Sure, it's a goal line dropout, and it is. Yes, he's touched it.
And it was a fantastic kick that. I don't think we can explain. It was swirling, it was high. The sun was a problem for Smith at fullback. He's just lucky it bounced over the line, and Jeffries couldn't get there in time to score.
Well, he touched it very slightly, if that was the case.
Just off the fingertips, I think.
Well, pretty difficult to see from that angle. Either way, he's shaking his head. The game will continue on, but
Referee Mr. Kirkpatrick said to him, don't be telling porkies. Obviously, Lee Smith thought he didn't touch the ball. Jamie Field for the Wakefield Wildcats. Good chase from the line by Bailey and Ellis.
just emphasises, Eddie, the point that I was making, that you have to make at least a halfway line when you get to the last kick, so you can apply that pressure onto the opposition.
Great tackle by Rob Burrow and Jake Dimitriou. Here now is Jamie Field. David March, he finds Ben Jeffries, and Jeffries is wrestled to the ground by Sinfield and Bailey. Coming up to 23 minutes on the clock. Rooney wide to Solomona. Solomona tries to go round Chev Walker, keeps going, and Wakefield have the penalty. They're caught offside, Leeds. So Solomona just dumps the ball into touch, and they will start again. 10 metres away from the Leeds line. Solomona it is. They go wide, and he's almost over the line over on that far side. That's a good drive in there by Ryan Atkins. He'll play the ball to Solomona. He'll give it a bit of width now, and he'll find Jeffries. Back it goes to Rooney, and Rooney sees a gap. Oh, great defence. That was Rob Burrow. It's a try-saving tackle. There's Jeffries. Finds the big man Adam Watine, and more great smothering defence from the Rhinos. That was Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Oh, it's opened up though for Ben Jeffries, and Wakefield are on the board. Ben Jeffries with the try, and Wakefield get a little bit of hope. Only the second time really that they have threatened the Leeds line. The first time they were denied by the video referee when Tadulala was the judge to have knocked on, but Ben Jeffries gets the try here.
Just shows you the importance of having a second set of six. Remember, it was Leeds that gave away the penalty on this occasion. Talking about from this kick here, it was a good one. He didn't get himself into a position. You see, he had to get side on because of the sun. It was in his face, but that's a great effort from Jeffries. Just a drop of the shoulder, boom, that's all it was. Barely moved the ball, but it was sufficient. Good fight back, good try.
Well, the Wildcats have shown if they can spend enough this game attacking Leeds, they're going to register some points. A couple of penalties have helped them there, put in position, but they've got try scorers all over the field. The third try for Ben Jeffries so far this season. You can see from within 20 metres of his opponent's line, he will register points.
Ben Jeffries with the try then, and Rooney, probably now the most famous surname in Great Britain, certainly in England. And Jamie Rooney has scored the goal for the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats. 12-6.
Simple equation. Put 6, 5, 4 in one area, it doesn't matter. You've got the overlap. They're struggling to fill in. And before they could even think, Jeffries has made them pay.
Ben Jeffries, a try scorer, and bad news for Wakefield. Ali Lauatiti who scored 5 tries against them off the bench 12 months ago, is on the field. Let's go down to the sideline and join Bill.
Well, that's right, Eddie. Ali Lauatiti on, and Brian McLennan, the key New Zealand coach, will be a very interested spectator. He is an interested spectator to see how Lauatiti goes tonight. He's in his squad. Also, Solomona and Monty Beetham, who's had a bit of a shaky game so far. Willie Poaching, who's just been replaced by Lauatiti. Well, he's not in the frame at the moment, but any injuries and Willie Poaching could get in there.
This is a great run from Ryan Atkins, and Ryan Atkins is going in for a wonderful try for the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats. That's a fantastic try from Atkins, and Tony Smith on his way down to the sideline. I hope he wasn't walking through a door and missed that. That was one of the great tries of Wakefield's season, I venture to suggest. A recent signing follows a successful loan spell from Bradford, and the 19-year-old, well, he's breathed life into the Wildcats here.
What about the inside pass from that man yet again, David Solomona? He just loves to go down on that left-hand side, and Atkins has produced one of the tries of the season. It wasn't just a case of running straight to score this one. He had to use his common sense, went in, and then realised he had to swerve away, swap the ball so he could fend, and then gets the try. That is a masterclass move. Wonderful stuff. Game on.
Well, teams that get relegated in rugby league usually struggle to score tries. You can tell when you look at this Wakefield side tonight, they haven't got any problems, have they, in that regard. Ryan Atkins from the first time a try within his own half, and the kick's gone over as well.
Fantastic kick from Rooney, and we are level here at Headingley. Leeds 12, Wakefield 12.
It's interesting, you guys, Steve, you mentioned about Solomona's great pass, he's all renowned for. But going back to that first try, was his influence one of the reasons why Shep Walker and them wanted to get off their line quick and get out to him? And that's what he also does to you. He also, just his presence makes people get attracted to him, which created the space there for Jeffries in that previous try.
Well, the Bradford Bulls this week have lost Stuart Fielden, of course, to Wigan for a massive transfer fee. But Ryan Atkins is another former Bradford player, and a youngster at that, 19 years of age, that's all, who has recently left the Grattan Stadium.
Am I right to say too, Eddie, that Adam Martini, he was at Bradford early in the year too, wasn't he?
He was indeed, yes indeed.
Well, I must say, it's several months ago that I saw this Ryan Atkins for the very first time when Wakefield played Harlequins, and he scored a try, not as far as that, but he was quick thinking from the dummy half position. And I thought to myself, well, this guy, he's going to make something. If he keeps scoring like that, he will.
Leeds have conceded another penalty for offside. Ooh, and they're lucky to get away with that. Well, the referee first of all said it went backwards, and then he changed his mind.
Well, who's refereeing this game? I know they've got to be helped on some occasions.
That's an interesting one,
Steve. That's off the touch judge, I think.
It's really interesting, that, Steve. He made the decision, it went back.
Well, why
then he made
change
the decision.
it?
But then it was interesting when they packed the scrum, he watched it on the big screen to see what the correct decision was. And you look at influence in momentum's game. The momentum's all gone Wakefield because they've had all the ball, they've had penalties, and they had good field position. Little things like that just stop your momentum. Now it gets back on the leads.
I mean, to be fair, it wasn't the best pass.
And it probably was a knock-on.
Yeah, but I mean, we can't have referees just been changing everything just on the whim.
Well,
you can make the decision.
But as I say, I think he got the call from the touch judge, Steve-O, which is fair enough.
But Steve, are you saying, what would you say? Do you think it was a knock-on or not a knock-on?
No, but the thing is, let the game go if it's like that. It's already made one decision. Are we going to stop for every decision?
This is Millard. And Millard, little gaffers, opened up then. An important tackle it was from Monty Beetham. Lauatiti to Burrow. Here is Sinfield. Sinfield looking. Oh, it's opened up for him. Back it comes to Ryan Bailey. Bailey gets it away to Danny Maguire. Maguire with a dab in behind the defence. Oh, that was brave. That was brave from Saxton.
Unbelievable. Put your body on the line. It was great work from Danny Maguire.
Wonderful play from Tom Saxton.
Great defence there. Millard got into the ribs there.
Adam Watine felt that.
Felt it, did he ever?
March. Up the middle they go. Bradford leading in the post-Stuart Fielden era. Warrington have struck back a little bit against Wigan, but it's 14-6. And also playing tonight, of course, Hull against Castleford. They've gone for a 40-20 here, and that ball has stood up nicely for Lee Smith. The chase is good, though, and the tackle is good also from Demetriou. Nobody at dummy half.
Oh, they were lucky there.
They were. Williams just managed to scamper in time.
Very slow to react with Leeds. They've been stunned by the fight back from Wakefield.
This is Scott Donald.
Well, it looked all so easy, didn't it? The skills that were on show from Leeds were nothing short of superb.
Watine halts Gareth Ellis with a little bit of help. That's tackle number 4. South Stand asking for a penalty. This is Rob Burrow to Sinfield onto Maguire. And Maguire is on his way over the line. Again, terrific defence. And Rob Burrow didn't take kindly to the attention from Jason Demetriou.
When you see the underdog win in rugby league, it's usually with examples like that. Defence just desperate to push them over the sideline. You often see that's twice now Wakefield have pulled that off. Defended in a similar attitude and style last week when they won against Warrington. It's a good sign for Tony Smith and his boys right now.
Well, I made the comment, Ian Millwood, that in regards to Tony Smith, the Wakefield coach, maybe he should get the message out that Wigan are winning on the same night. It is important to Wakefield.
Oh, it's a great kick, and it's a chase here for Paul White. Paul White is quick. So too is Lee Smith. And Lee Smith will just shuttle that ball over the line. Well, that's a ploy that Tony Smith of Wakefield uses many times. Kick early off the base of the scrum and Paul White to chase it, because he is one of the quickest in Super League, this Paul White.
And I don't know why clubs don't use it more regular, especially when you're coming up to near to the halfway time.
Steve, I'd answer your question. Should he tell them? I don't think he should. You know why? Because do the immediate. Do all the things that you can control. They can't control what happens at the JJB Stadium. I'll tell you what they can control when you're down 12-0 and getting all the little things, getting field position, getting your halves with their cohesion. I thought the halves and the decision makers for the Leeds were very good. Burrow and Maguire. Now Jeffries and Rooney are starting to come in their own. I think that's what they've got to deal with at the moment.
Drop out from Kevin Sinfield, finds Adam Watine on halfway. And the big man picks up pace. Owen Millard, he went into that tackle awkwardly and he's hit the deck and he hasn't moved.
Done well.
That wasn't the best tackle. Here is White again, back on the inside. Griffin! Wakefield gaining a little confidence from this 12-all scoreline here with 6.5 to half-time. White finds Solomona.
Well, they're starting to boss in the forwards. They weren't in the game in the opening 20.
Oh, he nearly lost that, Solomona. He just managed to hang on to it. Solomona plays the ball. That was White. This is Jeffries. Here is Rooney who helps it on. It finds its way to Demetriou. Demetriou comes back inside, gets it away. Jamie Field. He's got Halpenny outside him. Oh, he's lost the ball. Williams picks it up. Should never have tried to offload there. Man, you didn't. It was the good tackle that forced the ball away.
Should have made sure they held on to the football, though. It was so important. They could have got a little dink of the kick into the in-goal area. It's just what Leeds needed.
This is Mark O'Neill. Tony Smith, one of the brightest young things in the coaching game from a British point of view, but finding it tough going at Wakefield as he tries to steer them away from the bottom of the table. Oh. Burrow, I think you saw that coming from Adam Watine.
Well, he is a target. It's so low to the ground that it is quite easy just to make a grab. He gave himself up to Watine. He knew he'd made it right into the face. And how vital was that mistake where Wakefield really should have been putting the kick into the in-goal area, trying to get the second set of 6. See, he ducks under. No doubt about it. Got it right in the mush. Got a bit of a serve after as well.
You've almost got to get down to Rob Burrow's level, haven't you? Not to hit him in the face. He's that small.
Well, you need Bill and Ben in the centres, don't you?
So a chance here for Leeds on the back of that penalty. It's Chris Feather, former Wakefield man Feather. And Chris Feather is halted by 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders. He spent time back on loan at Bellevue last year. Now then, they've given them some space with Ellis. He spins and gives it to Maguire. They've got people loaded up out wide. One of them is Lauatiti.
Great defence there at Headingley as well. He was looking for the inside man, no one was coming.
Oh, Warrington clawing back, Castleford trailing at Hull. This is Rob Burrow. Here is Mark O'Neill. It's with Kevin Sinfield. Good ball to Gareth Ellis. Great strength and try from Ellis. His second try tonight. Gareth Ellis with the try for the Rhinos. Well, he is haunting his former club, the ex-Wakefield captain. Second try for him.
All came about by the high shot or the low shot, either way, into the face of Burrow. Delayed pass yet again. Super stuff from Sinfield. You can see the defence, they were expecting the short one. See how the dummy came. Maybe looked a bit forward from that angle, but as far as the officials observed, take nothing away from the effort from Ellis. Try number 2 for him.
Well, Gareth Ellis is almost a complete and modern-day rugby league forward. You can see on this final set, across that try line, he stretched him over on the second and third players on the right, came back this way, and now another try for Gareth Ellis from close range. He is so powerful, runs into the hole well, and helps him put himself over the line.
Ellis's try and Kevin Sinfield to convert, and if he manages to slot this over, it will be his 30th consecutive successful kick in Super League. 30 out of 30 it is, and 55 goal kicks out of just 61 attempts this year for Kevin Sinfield.
Look how the dummy runner just delayed it, and you can see that they were left in no man's land. Jamie Field didn't know what to do. Ellis did. See, Field, when he got there, he was off balance. Sheer strength. Maybe a bit of a doubt about it, and in fact, from that angle, I think they've been very fortunate to get away with it.
Deep kick off. Oh, well held by Lee Smith.
What a take.
This is Chris Feather. He won't need any encouragement tonight, Chris Feather. He spent some time, as I say, back at Bellevue last year. 21 appearances for the Wildcats. Mark O'Neill. We've got news of Shane Millard going into that tackle, a little awkward. Bill.
Yeah, he jarred his shoulder by the look of things, and it did seem to improve as he stayed on the pitch, but Leeds weren't willing to take a risk. Carl Ablett has come on in his place, but Millard looks as though he'll be ready for more later.
And the kick from Sinfield will turn Tom Saxton around and will eventually find its way over the dead ball line.
Leading by example, this fella Sinfield. Such a classy player. It really has surprised me that he's been overlooked for test selection next Tuesday at St Helens.
Well, we're blessed with quite a few good back row forwards, aren't we? Mind you, one of them, Gareth Ellis, there in the tackle. He might have to play in the centres because we have a dearth of centres. Martin Gleeson isn't playing tonight for Warrington, although Paul Cullen has said he will go to the camp with Great Britain on Sunday. He said he never played for Britain in his career, and he would have hated anyone who'd prevented him from doing so. So he isn't going to stand in Gleeson's way. And the same goes for Henry Farfili for the Kiwis. And I think, Steve-o, that's a very adult way of looking at things by the Warrington coach,
Listen,
frankly.
every team, every player has to think exactly the same way. And that is a real mess up. There's nothing prouder in any sport than representing your country. And we need the best side against the Kiwis next Tuesday. We want the best side. We have to win.
So you're British now, are you?
Always have been.
You've been Australian all the turn through the Soccer World Cup, by the way.
I've been all the way around Australia. I've never found a place called Dewsbury.
Tony Smith's on his way down. This is young Carl Ablett. Went on the England Academy tour to Australia in 2004. On for Millard. Now, can Leeds just cement this position they've got themselves into at half-time? They're leading 18-12. They have 15 seconds. They might get 2 more play the balls. O'Neill finds big Chris Feather. He's halted by the tackle.
I think they'll go to the air, will they?
Well, there's just one play left. Here they go, Ellis. And they find Maguire. Maguire found Lauatiti. Lauatiti gets the ball, and that's good defence. That's terrific defence. Well done, big Adam Wateen, because Leeds were hunting a killer blow there. And here, plenty of contenders for both nations on show. Leeds 18, Wakefield 12, as we are about to start the second half. Last year around Easter, the Wildcats produced one of the great shocks of the season. They won here at Headingley, 44 points to 28. Leeds had won the first 8 of the year, but it was Wakefield who won today, and it was their highest ever score at Headingley. It's 18-12 at half-time here as Jamie Rooney gets us underway for the second 40. And with the scores from elsewhere, Wigan winning, only just, and Castleford losing, it could be a very significant night at the foot of the table. Could be a significant night at the top if Leeds win by 10.
And certainly could. They've got to realise now, of Wakefield, that they can't start like they did in the first half. The opening 15 minutes, they allowed Leeds to just offload, and they're not doing a bad job of it already. What a great run from Burrow.
Fantastic run from Burrow. White gets to him, and in the end he is grounded by Tom Saxton, and Wakefield have committed the sin again, and they have conceded the penalty. But what wonderful offloading by Leeds. Wakefield just didn't wrap them up.
There's a carbon copy of what occurred right from the kickoff at the start of this game. And this guy, he wants that Great Britain jumper, doesn't he?
This is Mark O'Neill. Mark O'Neill is halted just short of the line. That's Chev Walker. He loops the pass to Danny Maguire. Flicks it then into the arms of Chris Feather. That's 2 tackles gone, but Leeds are within 5 of the Wakefield line. Back they come to Maguire. He helps it wide to his skipper, Kevin Sinfield. Short ball from him to Carl Ablett. And they're having a devil's own job in putting Leeds on the floor. He's still going, Ablett. And he gets them to within half a metre of the line. 3 tackles gone. This time they're over, but can Wakefield hold Gareth Ellis up? The referee hasn't shouted held yet. Now he does. He waits a very long time, Carl Kirkpatrick, before he says the tackle is made.
Well, to be fair, Ellis was still wriggling around.
Remember at Wigan, he actually did that a couple of times. It was against Wakefield as well, wasn't it?
Tell me about it, Eddie.
Yeah, sorry, Ian. Here is Mark O'Neill. It's opened up the middle. That's the last tackle. Oh, he'll have to get off him. Quickly. And he does, Ned Katic. This is Maguire. Dab into the in-goal area. Claimed by Semi Tajulala. But Leeds will get another set of 6 here.
That is great play. That is quality. Maguire, little dink over the top. Just teased the ball. Still in the field of play. That is excellent stuff.
Clinton Tupy will be here with the Leeds Rhinos next year. He is here tonight in preparation for the test at St Helens on Tuesday. He is here talking to Bill.
Clinton, what do you make of your new side?
Oh, mate, I didn't realise how huge these boys are over here. I'm just glad to be on their side next year.
And I think you quite like this atmosphere, don't you? You've already said hello to the South Stand.
Oh, yeah, I love it, mate. It's awesome. Oh, mate, I can't wait to get over here. It's amazing. It's everything, I play the dreams that'll be in front of, It's cool.
You're over here, though, to, of course, you've got Tuesday in mind, and Ali Lauatiti, David Solomona, Monty Beetham, they all look as though they're in pretty good shape to face the Brits.
Oh, yeah, mate, they're looking dangerous out there, and every time they get the ball, it's just that. So, hopefully they can carry on for this game without any injuries and, be fit to play come Tuesday.
Thanks.
Great work from Leeds here. Ball hits the deck. Sinfield still has it. He offloads again to Maguire. And Leeds threatening this line again. This is Chris Feather. Griffin gets him. He offloads though to Maguire. Maguire gets the ball down for the next Leeds try. Fantastic stuff from Leeds that. As Clinton Tupy was talking to Bill, it was mesmeric the runs that Leeds were putting in. They teased and tormented the Wakefield defence. Maguire at the heart of it right the way through. And Maguire has just come up with another 4-pointer for the Rhinos.
Well, I can't believe it. I never heard the pop, because this is champagne stuff. Just look at the ability of keeping it alive. Ball carrying arm from Maguire did not hit the deck. Take it out left. The ability to keep and look for the support. Look at them there. Okay, not the best pass, but Sinfield still got it away. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Offload, back. I'll take it again. Great stuff. Oh, the Rhinos. They are in rampaging form. The ability to look, the ability to offload, and the position and the support play is supreme. He enjoyed that. So did that fella.
Well, a repeated set of possession on the Wakefield line. Patience really was what built up to this. They received the ball on the halfway line from the dropout, worked upfield, and although it shows they scored in that right-hand corner, they've scored all over the field through Danny Maguire this year. Where you see the T's indicated are the tries he scored this season, as you can tell. Such a talented player with great pace. Put him into space, and you can come up with a 4.
And Kevin Sinfield makes it 31 from 31 in terms of goal kicking over the recent weeks. That was his most difficult of the night, from tight on the touchline after Maguire's try. But at the moment, Sinfield is kicking them from everywhere. And the gap is back to 12 again.
But not only is Maguire so majestic in scoring the tries, go back a few moments before that, the little chip over, he made sure that that ball would still stay in the field of play, so it wouldn't be a diffuse of the bomb. This is excellent to watch.
Mark O'Neill. Well, at the moment, with this 12-point advantage, Leeds have overtaken St Helens at the top of the table. They have to win by 10 points, and they will sort a takeover bid out. That is until St Helens play Salford here on Sky Sports tomorrow. Lauatiti. Again the offload to Walker. This is killing Wakefield. This is absolutely causing Wakefield so many problems. Maguire. White is ahead of him. Flicks it to Senior. Great stuff from Leeds at the moment. They're really on song at the start of this second half. This is Gareth Ellis. You can't let this fella run. You can't let him offload. Brilliant. Lee Smith. Forward pass, was it? No, the referee looks at the touch judges. The try is given. Absolutely brilliant. And Tony Smith has got some problems to deal with here right at the start of this second half. Lee Smith, a fantastic try, forged from, well, almost in their own half by the Leeds Rhinos, and Wakefield with no answer.
The ability to offload again, but not only that, look at the support already there. Bit of doubt maybe on the second pass. I think the final pass looked okay. You can see there's problem for Dimitriou out on the far side, but look at the quality. Maybe the pass from Ellis to the captain Kevin Sinfield was a bit dubious, but it wasn't to be called back by the official.
Well, Sinfield and Ellis have almost been a double act, haven't they? They've worked so well tonight. And it's a try again for a restart. Kick restart, straight away, length of the field. Lee Smith again scoring. Another great support player that takes advantage of the offloads provided by his bigger forwards.
19 years of age, Lee Smith. Obviously a Young Player of the Year contender for 2006. Getting better week by week. And Kevin Sinfield, who was a contender for Man of Steel in 2005, he adds the extras, and Leeds have a stranglehold on the match.
Does that look touch forward? There's feet against feet. That's not the case, though. It's got to be where the hands are. Either way, it deserved a try. Sheer ability. Not only the men that's just supporting, but there were men either side creating all sorts of confusion in the Wakefield defence.
So that's a deep kick-off. It's a very deep kick-off, and underneath it's Scott Donald. Here is Mark O'Neill. Tadjalala gets to him. We've heard from Ben Jeffries. O'Neill is halted, and Wakefield with a real mountain to climb now at Headingley. Burrow.
Well, their ruin, the fact is that they gave away a silly penalty yet again with the error, and then trying to stop this Leeds outfit on such a roll. Look at this. It's basketball.
It is, and the fact that they are being allowed to offload the ball with such ease is a major problem that Tony Smith, the Wakefield coach, has got to sort out. Here's Mark O'Neill. That's a better set of 6 from Wakefield so far. Kick coming here, I think, from Burrow. Angled kick, and it bounces into the arms of Colm Halpenny. Now, can Wakefield make any progress upfield?
One of their biggest problems is their contact. The amount of offloads I haven't seen for a long, long time. They're just too good, Leeds, at their skill level and their speed when they get in the second phase against Wakefield. So what they've got to improve Wakefield straight away is their initial contact. Their first contact has got to stop the ball. Otherwise, that's going to cause them huge problems, as we're seeing.
Interesting scores coming in from elsewhere here at Headingley. Wakefield in a bit of a hole and having to do something special to get out of it again. Maybe Monty Beetham can. Well, not with tackling like that from Chris Feather. That's the last. They're just over the halfway line. Kick from Jeffries has to be good. He goes to the air. It's not a bad kick either. Lee Smith, though, is after it. And Jeffries following his own kick up as well.
Good job that Jeffries got there, because there was nobody in support with him. Jeffries was the only man that was running for that kick. They're looking very tired at the Wakefield side.
And this is an anonymous side for them. Ali Lauatiti as he plays the ball to Scott Donald. Here is Carl Ablett.
They just can't get the football, Wakefield. And it's not surprising the way that Leeds are playing.
Sinfield, bullet pass to Maguire. Maguire short ball to Gareth Ellis. That's the last tackle.
He's had a big game, hasn't he, the second row at Ellis. Looking for work all the time.
Sinfield, oh, he just stepped inside a couple then. Still going Sinfield. He had all the time in the world to get that ball away, and Burrow hoists the kick high, but too deep.
Well, that's a first sign of a little bit of panic in this Leeds attack. Up until that point, and that man knows it, Tony Smith, the Wakefield one, realises that this Leeds outfit are full of confidence. They've been a stop-start affair over the past few weeks, but on this performance, oh, they're the team to watch at the moment.
Good run from Halpenny, halted by Senior and Maguire. Dimitriou's the dummy half for Wakefield. It's wonderful defence from Leeds. It's Quicksilver attack as well. Here is Korkidas, who he offloads, but the offloading from Wakefield is not up to scratch. Ablett pouncing on the loose ball. Difference
between the two sides. Every time they turn with the football, either player, Leeds, they've got 3 or 4 to look for.
And look
when Wakefield do it, there's nobody there.
Lauatiti plays the ball to Burrow. Here is Jeff Walker.
That was delayed, not seen by the touch judge or the official with a whistle.
Burrow and Sinfield can't get it away this time. Has to take the tackle from Korkidas and also Ned Katic. This is Burrow, busy. Ball goes to ground, and it's O'Neill who finds Lauatiti. Lauatiti drifts the kick in towards the try line, picked up by Tadulala. Here comes the counter.
Here comes a tackle as well. Oh, Chris Feather didn't miss him. Good position though by Tadulala. They needed it as well. Trying to use the speed of White.
White plays the ball to Rooney. That was McGilvery. He plays the ball. This is Korkidas. Gets Wakefield to halfway.
The problem is they just can't get any good ball, can they? When I say good ball, ball close to Leeds line, early in the tackle count, Jeffries takes it on, runs at them. And all the possession they've had, all of the possession in the second half really has been just clearing their own lines.
High hanging kick from Rooney. Solomona's after this. Oh, it's bounced. And luckily for Leeds, it was Lee Smith who got to it. Donald. He's not gone down yet, but now he has. Katic and Jeffries with the tackle. This is Danny Williams.
Well, the biggest problem for Wakefield in the first half, especially in the opening 20 minutes, was the missed tackle count. That he missed 12 in the first half, but 10 of those came in that first 20 minutes.
Great work at marking position from Solomona. Maguire. O'Neill.
That's better.
Last tackle, they're inside their own half, Leeds, so the kick from Maguire here, up and over the top. Surely that will skip away and skip. No, it doesn't. Colm Halpenny has to run it out, which he does. He makes 18 priceless meters.
It's been a good
Paul
kicking,
White.
big big kicking game from Leeds throughout this game. Rob Burrow, Danny Maguire, and of course Kevin Sinfield. Such a great advantage to be able to have 3 quality kickers in open play like that.
Here's Dimitriou.
See there again, Dimitriou coming across, trying to find someone to support. They're just not getting there.
Flying tackle from Ellis on Korkidas. Rooney with the kick over the top. And it went out on the ball.
That doesn't help matters.
This is important now, Steve, at this stage of the game. They haven't had any ball. You're dead right, Steve. Their body language is tired because they're having to make double efforts all the time in defence because the offloads. They're going to change the tempo of the game. They need to run the ball in the touch. They need to slow things down and get their composure, get their energy levels up. Otherwise, if they want to compete with Leeds, their energy levels are going to be doomed.
Didn't play that ball properly. Carl Kirkpatrick is very hot on this.
I've got to say, Eddie, he has. I've heard it on the monitor. He's 3 times said to him, "You haven't done it right. You haven't done it right." And he's questioned him 3 times. He said, "Next time, I'm going to penalise you." So that's fair enough.
On the line.
So a chance for Wakefield with Korkidas to gain some territory, gain some respite. Korkidas will play the ball, and here is McGilvray again. McGilvray will play it to Paul White. It's with Jeffries. They come wide looking for Solomona, their go-to man. Leeds were waiting for him. And Walker, Poaching and Burrow do well. Semi Tajulala waits the dummy half. Infield they'll come to Ben Jeffries. He'll find Jamie Field. Oh, great tackle from Ellis. Now then, Jeffries. Wide they go to Rooney. Rooney trying to dance his way through. It's an important tackle by Senior, and it's a penalty.
He called the tackle count. Oh, that won't help matters. Mr. Kirkpatrick will have a little bit of a word with Keith Senior.
It's only a penalty kick. No one's killed you or anything, right? You have to be throwing the ball away like that. That looks awful. All right, we know what game that comes from. Come on, sort yourself out. I call the tackle and you chuck the ball. What game's that? What do you mean, what game that?
He called the tackle and he took the ball
After it.
Keith Senior angry with the decision. Well, Wakefield with a chance. Paul White. Here is Rooney. Dimitriou, he gets the ball away to Katic. Good tackle by Maguire. Oh,
he's hurt as well.
Katic is hurt badly.
Yeah. Twisted the leg. He's in trouble.
Problems here for Wakefield. This is White. He dances around Jamie Jones Buchanan. He's very quick on his feet, is Paul White, the former Huddersfield man, signed this winter. Rooney, Jeffries. That was tough.
Well, that'll be back to 4.
Who's knock on? I think from Saxon's reaction, it is Wakefield's knock on. Yes, it's Leeds head and feed.
It's a big call. Now he's facing his own sticks. Not a knock on there. The Leeds player, Willie Poaching. He was involved in the tackle.
It's a bit hard, that, isn't it?
Yeah, 50-50. I call that, Phil.
I also think the Poaching actually was going for the ball when he made the first tackle.
I thought it was a tough call. Gee, tell you what, he's coming up with some sayings. Carl, hasn't he? He's really worked on that part of his game. He just said to him, don't look at the screen. If you want to look at the screen, stay home and watch it on TV. I think he's after his own game show, he is.
He's had one for years.
Jamie Jones Buchanan, having sat on a stage with Carl Kirkpatrick at some of these fans' forums, I can tell you he's a very, very dry, humoured person. This is Poaching.
Tell Keith Senior that.
Well,
to be fair to the official, though, it was good that he brought...
And Walker, offload to Maguire. This is killing Wakefield. Maguire, he's the difference. Great pass. Lee Smith, wonderful try from Lee Smith. His second of the night. There's no answer to Leeds when they're in this mood. There is absolutely no answer.
Danny Maguire, number 6, GB, surely, on this performance. We need him. Watch this. Presence of mind. He knows where Smith is. Wonderful effort from Smith as well. They must have been working overtime in running the angles and putting them in a good position. Smith came from about 30 metres from the angle from open play to the blind side to ensure that he got the second try for himself in the second half.
Well, they're starting to score from longer range, aren't they now? Chev Walker's strength through the tackle, just too much for Wakefield, and then the offload. You do have to compliment their support play. The turning point really was the referee's decision to give that knock on. A tough call. Wakefield's chance of getting back in the game blown away now by an 86-metre try.
Scored by Lee Smith. Mathers out injured and on his way to Australia next year, Richard Mathers. Well, Lee Smith will fill in for him as he has this year with aplomb. And Kevin Sinfield faultless with the boot.
You put the mocker in him, Eddie.
He has missed one. 34-12.
This is why the try was scored. Look where Smith is, and then he decides all the defence is coming one way, I'll go the other. Brilliant from both players. It is a delight to watch.
32 successful kicks for Kevin Sinfield. The 33 or the 33rd missed. Deep kick off again to Scott Donald's corner. Here comes Chris Feather.
How will he play the ball here? Watch for the foot.
Did he play it properly? I think he did. Let's go down to the sideline and Bill.
Eddie, I think Keith Senior has just become the shortest substituted player in the history of the Super League. He was off the field for about 10 seconds, but he was sent back on again because he was replaced by Ryan Bailey. In that time, Chev Walker came to the sidelines and reported that he'd got double vision or something like that. He's had a bang, and Chev Walker has gone off, and Keith Senior came straight back on.
And Burrow with a little chip over the top. Halpenny takes control of it, but Burrow takes control of Halpenny.
They're buzzing, aren't they? They're not content just to make sure that they're doing the classy footwork and the classy passing. When the ball in hand, they're working hard in defence.
Wakefield trying all they know, but when Leeds have got ball in hand, they are very tough to stop, particularly if you don't wrap up the man with the ball and they get the offloads away, as they have done for 62 minutes now, non-stop.
And you've also got to take into account that this Leeds pack are without Peacock and Diskin.
This is Tadulala. Yes, it's ominous, isn't it, for the rest? They're only just over halfway. Solomona running it on the last. Little chip over the top. Jamie Jones-Buchanan accepts the gift. Gifted then to Danny Williams. Bradford have stretched the lead, and so too have Wigan. It's putting the cat amongst the pigeons at the bottom of the table, isn't it? That result in this one. Castleford up at Hull as well. They were behind last time we heard. Here is Senior.
Interesting to see how Fielding has played, Eddie.
Well, we'll have highlights for you of that match tomorrow in our game at St Helens, Saints and Salford, 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Another faulty play the ball by Chris Feather.
Well, it'll eventually get through.
Very spot on, actually, the referee.
Yeah, he made no attempt.
I do say, though, Steve-O, that referees could penalise at the play the ball. Well,
yeah, but if
8 out of 10.
I know, but if they just deliberately roll it back and make no attempt, it's every right for the referee to pull them up.
Good drive forward by McGilvray. March finds Ben Jeffries. What would Wakefield do for a try? Jeffries, oh, and an excellent tackle by Lee Smith. It had to be. Sexton and March wide to Dimitri, who comes back amongst all the heavy traffic. Can he get the offload away? There's nobody there. That's the difference. Sexton again, running at the defence. There's the offload to Jamie Field. Try, is it for Field.
Yes.
Try for Jamie Field against his former club. Strong running from Wakefield. Offloading in the tackle, a la the Leeds Rhinos. And Jamie Field, who played for the Leeds Rhinos once upon a time in the first year of Super League, in fact, has scored the third Wakefield try.
This was great work from Ben Jeffries as well. Great tackle, they got to him. Just run out of numbers, but I must say it was a good effort. For once they had the support. Field got himself in there. That is a good try. And that's only the third occasion that Wakefield have actually been in an attacking force in the red zone. And they've come up trumps. Good effort.
Eddie, they're showing us that they've got a character to continue to play, to strive to score tries. Points difference could be interesting at the end of the season, and they're aware of that. Jamie Field is his first try of 2006, and although it may be might not affect the outcome of the match, still it gets his side back in the habit of scoring tries.
Well, it just shows you, doesn't it, when things go against you, things go against you. Leeds hit the post that end in the first half and scored. That one from Rooney hit the post and bounced out. 34-16. Leeds still in command, but Phil Clark's point was well made, I think, in the first half, Ian Millwood, that relegated teams don't normally score tries. Wakefield can.
I tell you what, put Ben Jeffries in a Leeds, a Saints or a Hull, and teams like that. He is a very enterprising player. He won't die wondering. He's got speed to back it up with. I'll tell you what, he has tried his hardest. And that's where I feel they haven't complimented him enough with his forwards, with just helping him out with a little bit of options around him. But with him there and Solomona, they will score points. It's like Phil said, they need field position and they need to get these offloads sorted out against Leeds.
And it's been very poor support play. Can't say that about the Rhinos, though. They've been in top form. It's probably the best I've seen them play for well over 2 months.
Steve-O, I think that coincided. They went for a little bit of a rough period there, just a very short period. That was when Sinkfield was out injured. When he come back, I feel he gives Maguire and Burrow that opportunity to have a little bit of composure, and he gives them confidence. Sinkfield means a lot to Leeds.
Sixth game back for Kevin Sinfield, and if they win this, and it looks like they will, it'll be a sixth win on the trot, and a knock-on from David Solomona.
That's a bad error as well.
Well, look where it is, right in centre field.
30 metres out. Now, will they afford the luxury of a move from the base?
This is Sinfield. That's Senior. Oh, as he took that, the tackle came in from Dimitri. He felt that, Senior. Lee Smith to Lauatiti. Such a big man, so hard to put down. They do this time. Burrow. Millard. Castleford scrapping for their lives as well, trailing 18-10. Here is Bailey. Flicks the pass to Jones Buchanan. It's Maguire again. Gets it away to Ablett. Oh! And Donald loses the ball and it finds its way into touch.
Well, just trying to force the pass a little bit too much at 34-16. You've got to really start working for field position, and the Leeds coach Tony Smith will be very pleased with this. It has been an accomplished performance, extremely professional. Everyone has worked.
I suppose we might have expected a Leeds victory because they have won 15 of 17 against Wakefield since 1999. And they've won all 8 at Bellevue. They have lost a couple here in 2000 and 2005. And Wakefield now have a relieving penalty. Interference at the play the ball.
No doubt about it. Millard came round the back. He's the man that got penalised. Been a good signing though, hasn't he, Millard?
Yes, well, you would worry with Andrew Duneman at Salford this year if Diskin got injured, but not with Millard there. Little juggle by Ryan Atkins. Searching a penalty from Mr. Kirkpatrick again. It didn't come. Jeffries. Here is Big Adam Watine, the offload to March.
They look a good team, don't they, in this half of the field? They've just not been here often enough tonight.
This is Rooney. Here is Dimitriou. Gets the ball in field to Colm Halpenny.
Very adventurous play by the Wildcats. They are capable of it.
Jamie Field, White, it's Jeffries, and here is Solomona. The hands wide to Atkins. Tagulala, they're in again, Wakefield. Wakefield will not go away. And I think Steve-O was right. They've threatened this Leeds line about 5 times throughout the match, and they've scored 4 tries. Semi Tagulala with the latest. The Fijian international, leading try scorer in Super League for the Wildcats this year. Here's the reason why.
You've got to take your hat off, haven't you, to their coach Tony Smith and the players out there for having the ability to have the confidence. Okay, I think deep down they realise they can't get back into this game. I think there's far too many points to catch up. But the ability to keep the ball alive and finish, this is a wonderful effort. Great try. They've scored some wonderful, wonderful 4-pointers tonight. It's been a great game to watch and refereed exceptionally well by Mr. Kirkpatrick.
Just look in this period of possession, swinging the ball over to the right wing, back to left wing, and possibly the best winger in Super League in 2006. Semi Tagulala goes in for his 14th try. You can just see how hard he's had to work, popping up all over the field. That's a good trait for a left winger to have.
And Rooney with the conversion attempt is waved away by the touch judges, much to Tony Smith's frustration, I think. But it's 34 points to 20.
I think
and Wakefield are giving them a go, Ian.
Yeah, I think Steve-O made the comment about Ryan Atkins before. He's come up with a sensational try with skills, and now he's come up with good lines, good catch and good pass there, Steve-O. With all these players out on the test, and we're going to talk about centres, Yeeman, maybe Gleeson, he could end up a Boulder, couldn't he?
Oh boy, well, they always say if they're playing well, Brian Noble's made it quite clear, if they're playing well enough, then they will get the chance.
This is Tagulala. He's certainly, at 19, Ryan Atkins, he is certainly one for the future. There's no doubt about that.
He's got the pace, he's got the guile, and he's got the strength.
Here's Paul White. That's the last tackle. Wakefield still in their own half. Jeffries with a chip over the top, and Rooney will hunt this. And Senior got this. Oh, there's a knock on.
It's a play on, it'll be tied.
Ben Jeffries for Wakefield. Well, was there a knock on in there by Wakefield? That's the decision.
I don't think so.
The video referee. There was certainly a knock on by the Leeds man. Was the one the other way by Rooney? There's the knock on. I think that's come off his legs.
It's off his legs. This has got to be given. Beautiful little kick over the top. He's had a fine game as Ben Jeffries.
Knock on, off the legs, play on.
This will be TRY time and nervous moments. Just wants to make sure. There is a knock on, and that's gone down onto the legs. This should be given.
I'm with you, Steve-O. I'm going to try also. So what the Leeds guys don't think, they're starting walking back up the halfway.
Well, Lee Smith has got a hand to it, okay? And then he loses possession. He's got no control over that. And he's gone in to do the tackle, in effect. There's Jamie Rooney. Well, I don't think he's touched it. And even if he does touch it, I think he goes backwards. Because he's got his... You see how he's got his arm in front of the ball?
He's not looking at the ball, is he?
So the projection, and this has to be just play on.
It comes off his leg, I feel.
Yeah, it's got to be a try.
The referee, the video referee, is Bob Connolly.
Well, Lee Smith knocks on to start with. Surely they'll give this.
It's a big call by Bob Connolly for Wakefield. Not given. And scrum defence. That's impossible. It's first knock on.
You mean scrum Wakefield?
It's got to be scrum Wakefield.
Scrum Wakefield, scrum attack. scrum attack it is.
Carl heard you, Ed. You don't need to raise your voice.
I tell you what,
Carl.
everyone will think that Carl Kirkpatrick listens to us. You had Ian Milburn talking to him in the first half. Now I'm telling you, let me tell everyone listening at home, the earpiece in Mr. Kirkpatrick's ear is to his video referee, not to us up here. Solomona, Walker missed him. The other three didn't.
Well, I think they've been badly done today. Seriously.
They were given a tough call earlier. We all commented, didn't we? 55 minutes into the game, a knock-on against Wakefield, which really was the chance that Wakefield had to get back into the match.
That was another chance for them to get back into the match. This is Griffin. March is the dummy half for Wakefield. This is Rooney. Rooney to Paul White. Paul White looking for a gap. Nearly appeared. Millard had to get the tackle in. March comes on the inside to big Darrell Griffin. And Griffin trundles towards the posts. And Griffin is over the line, but is held up.
Well, it's been a tremendous effort, and it just shows you what this Wakefield side are capable of, given plenty of possession. Silly penalties, as I said, and missed tackles has brought their downfall. Little chip through.
Just too deep by Ben Jeffries.
Well, it really has been a wonderful performance by the two halfbacks from either side. Tony Smith from Wakefield looks on and says what might have been.
And as I say, when you're down at the foot of the table, things do not go for you, do they?
Well, you know, Leeds had a little bit of luck last week as well. 1 or 2 decisions in the game against Salford. This is one here, a strip.
And this is another big call, actually, I'll tell you, by Carl Kirkpatrick. It really is.
Well, there was 2 involved there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
No doubt about it.
That's definite.
Yeah. There's Millard turning him over. Well, it really has provided so many classic tries tonight.
And by the way, the disallowed try that we've just had by Bob Connolly will put, if it stays like this or the margin increases, will put Leeds on top of the table. They're going to go top of the table anyway, I think, as Burrow, this will-o'-the-wisp.
Oh, seen his knocked on.
He has.
Well, it looked for one moment there that little Rob Burrow was going to come up with a sensational try.
There's danger every time he gets it.
He was bobbing and weaving.
I was going to say, Steve, while we watch this again, the decision by Bob Connolly to scrub that try out for Wakefield means that Leeds will go top of the table because they had to win here by 10 or more to take over from Saints.
I know, and I've got to be honest with you, I cannot believe that this try has not been given.
It's a big call by Bob Connolly, that.
I mean, how on earth did he know whether the Leeds player had it or not? He was just involved and he didn't in his hand as far as I'm concerned.
Just, I think it possibly brushed the elbow.
Yeah, but he wasn't looking for it. You know,
no, he wasn't. I'm with you on that.
He didn't know that Leeds Smith had lost control of the ball. He was actually going into a tackle. So therefore, it's supposed to carry on. Either way, Leeds are going to win this game, especially now.
They are. The referee will bring them back and play the first knock-on. Well, that's a mistake by Ryan Atkins. We've been praising him all night.
Well, the Barmy Army underneath here.
Well, they know Leeds are going top.
And
they know Leeds are going top of the table.
And they're screaming for another try. That's what they want. They want to finish off with a flourish.
They might get it too. This is Walker. This is still Walker. Referee was in the defensive line then. Another great offload from Walker to Millard. Adam Mateen came over. Was it Adam Mateen or was it Atkins? It was Atkins. Here is Kevin Sinfield. Short ball. This is Gareth Ellis for the hat-trick. Gareth Ellis! No. And he is held up over the line. Let's get down to Dave Hadfield. Who's your man of the match, Dave?
Well, a lot of resilience from Wakefield. Players like Ryan Atkins and Ben Jeffries have caught the eye. So Kevin Sinfield's passing has been a delight to watch. Test class and beyond. But what an advantage it must be to have somebody running onto the ball like our man of the match has done today. He scored 2 tries that way, almost a third there. Helped us set up another. Been one of Leeds' best defenders. Worthy winner tonight, we think, Gareth Ellis.
So Gareth Ellis wins the man of the match award. He gets the Gillette Sports Pack. Leeds, meanwhile, have a penalty for a grapple tackle underneath their own post. Tom Saxton just asking the referee why the decision was given. And I think Kevin Sinfield, well, he's going to go for 2 and just close this game out well and truly.
Oh, will he? No,
yes, he's indicated for 2.
Going for the 2. He's quite happy with it.
There's the man of the match, and from a British point of view, if Brian McLennan, Tony Smith, the winning coach, wouldn't believe it, would you? There's the losing coach, and he'll be frustrated by that no-try decision by the video referee. But from a British point of view, let's hope that Gareth Ellis wins the man of the match on Tuesday against New Zealand. Or any other of the British players.
Of course, it's been his best performance, though, I must say, from Gareth Ellis.
Do you think it's a surprise that this fellow, Kevin Sinfield, is not included?
Surprise? I think it's a disgrace.
Ian?
Well, I think you've got to look at the people he's competing with at the moment in that area. There's fantastic talent. He's even competing with Gareth Ellis in that area, because where Brian Noble plays him. I'll just say at the moment, I think Sinfield, with this kick he gets, I feel at the moment Sinfield's the most important player that Leeds, and his club form's outstanding. Whether he gets the opportunity to do that in the test is up to the coach. I feel in that area that there's people there that are probably equal in the international arena, but he wouldn't be how would I say, he wouldn't look out of favour there with being in that spot.
But if that man could not get in the squad, I think it's a disgrace.
Wigan have won against Warrington, 30 points to 12. The Stuart Fielden factor comes in to play, and that means the gap between Wigan and Wakefield has been closed, and they play each other in a couple of weeks at the JJB Stadium. Here is Jamie Jones-Buchanan, 1.5 minutes to go. Harlequins Wigan is next weekend, next Saturday night, with us on Sky Sports. Tony Smith decided to come down amongst his players and celebrate this victory now, and a smile as well.
Approaching the final minute. Leeds won't just give up. They'll keep looking for that final try.
Wakefield, by the way, next week, Steve, will play St Helens, who have no less than a dozen players penciled in to play in the test match at Knowsley Road on Tuesday night.
Interesting.
Into the last minute. Wakefield have given this game a real go. They always do when they come to Headingley. Bradford have beaten Huddersfield 42-16, so life goes on at the Grattan Stadium without Stuart Fielden. And the other important score we're waiting for, of course, is from Hull, where Castleford are the visitors. This is Demetriou. Rob Burrow hounding him like a little terrier. 20 seconds remaining.
He's had a great game as BP.
A dab over the top. Jamie Jones, Willie Poaching rather, picks it up on the half volley. 10 seconds remaining. Kick over the top and a chase from Lee Smith. Tom Saxton knows the game is over and just walks the ball over the line. Leeds have won. Wakefield are in a bit of bother at the foot of the table. Leeds are on top of the Engage Super League tonight by virtue of the size of the margin of this win, that is 16 points. The South Standers celebrate a place at the summit of the Super League for the first time in 10 months. Saints knocked off their perch. They have to play Salford on Sky Sports tomorrow, and if they win that, they will regain the top spot. But a very, very good performance by Leeds, and a dogged performance by the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats. They have slipped into trouble. They've got Saints next week, then they have Wigan at the JJB Stadium the week after, and Castleford, I believe, have lost at the KC Stadium against Hull. There's confirmation of that. 28-10, Hull have beaten Castleford. So it's Castleford, Wakefield and Wigan who are battling away at the foot of the table. Let's talk to the man of the match. It's Gareth Ellis. He's with Bill.
Gareth, I think you were fired up for this one, weren't you?
Yeah, obviously, fired up for any game, really. Obviously, with the test match coming up on Tuesday as well, a little bit of incentive. But again, we've been improving week on week, and this was just another step forward for us. I think we saw a little bit of the Leeds of old tonight, which will be the most positive thing to come out of tonight's game.
Certainly did in patches. I mean, there was some scintillating stuff at the start of the second half, wasn't there? Maybe it was Wakefield coming back at you, but you were never really comfortable until the final minutes.
No, obviously Wakefield coming off a good win last week against Warrington, and they're a quality team, and you know we knew it was going to be tough tonight. That's why we had to grind out the win.
You wanted that hat-trick, didn't you?
Yeah, I've never scored an hat-trick, so it would have been nice to get one, but
especially against your old club.
I'll settle for 2.
And top of the table. Or, I mean, okay, maybe only for 24 hours, but the situation's changed, hasn't it?
Well, it has, yeah, but you know we can't control what other teams are doing other than what we're playing against, and that's all we'll keep concentrating on now. We've reeled them back in a little bit, but we'll just keep on playing and performing the best we can.
You looking forward to Tuesday?
I am. Obviously the team not been selected yet, but I am looking forward to getting together on Sunday and having a good training session, and hopefully things will work out.
Well, that man of the match performance might make Brian Noble take a bit of notice.
I hope so. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Well done.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, Gillette.
The Wakefield skipper is Monty Beetham, and Monty, I mean, you weren't going to let him get away with it, were you? You hung in there.
Oh, we did. I mean, we played in too many patches today. We didn't play quality football for 80 minutes, and that's what we cried against a good team like Leeds. And second, and now they go top, I believe.
Now, I mean, a big decision towards the end there, where that Ben Jeffries try was disallowed for a knock-on from Jamie Rooney, by all accounts. I mean, that was critical, wasn't it? Well, might not have changed the game, but it was a big call nevertheless.
Yeah, it would have been that much closer on the scoreboard. I think it was a bit of a harsh call, but that's the way it goes. The referee ruled on that. Mind you, we didn't do ourselves a few favours tonight, but all in all, it was a decent display by our side.
Penalty count also hurt you.
Yeah, it did. But what do? You're playing against a lot of big men in the Leeds outfits, and you've got to make sure you stop the roll on. And we couldn't stop that and gave away a few penalties. But all credit to Leeds today.
Well, you'll go away from this, and you're not a lot of rest because you've got to get your mind set for Tuesday and the game against Great Britain at St Helens. Brian McLennan here tonight. Are you looking forward to that one if selected?
Yeah, if selected, it'd be nice. I've been in the wilderness for a little while, and if I can get there and play amongst the boys, a few old familiar faces, it'll be great. And with my friend David Solomona.
And it would be a big night for you, wouldn't it, getting back in there?
It'll be a huge night if I'm fortunate enough, and I'm looking forward to that night. Regardless of whoever plays, I'll be behind the queues.
Hate to be the bearer of bad tidings, but Wigan have won tonight. The gap's closed towards the bottom of the table. You've got Saints next up. It is getting a little bit nerve-wracking there, isn't it?
Oh, look, you're always looking over your shoulder, but you've got to make sure you're performing week in, week out. And we've been sort of like a yo-yo at times. But in saying that, look, we've got St Helens this week. It's probably the best time to have St Helens. They've got 10 in the match on Tuesday, so we always play good at home. So we have to watch ourselves for now.
Thanks for talking to us, Monty.
Cheers, mate.
Well, there we go. I don't think it'll be a victory roll for Leeds. Maybe it should be. But they have won. They're at the top of the table tonight. That's a point we will confirm in a moment after we look at tonight's other results. Confirmation of those. Bradford have beaten Huddersfield. Hull have beaten Castleford, and Wigan have beaten Warrington. Stuart Fielden's signature was ratified by the Rugby Football League today at the JJB Stadium. He made his debut and he's played his part in a win. Leeds are top of the table. Saints have the game in hand. That's against 6th placed Salford City Reds tomorrow. At the bottom, Wigan have made ground up on the Catalan Dragons, who have the game in hand. Wakefield now are just 4 points ahead of them. Castleford 5 points ahead of them with the Harlequins. And Huddersfield, with Wigan coming up on the rails, they might not be out of it yet either. Surely Wigan Warriors cannot come from bottom of the table and make it to the top 6. I don't think that's a possibility. It's a possibility that they could get themselves out of trouble, and Stuart Fielden's arrival obviously has had something to do with their victory against Warrington there tonight. But here at Headingley, the Leeds Rhinos, they've taken over at the top, and they're playing well enough to stay there.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with them. I've been impressed with their last 4 games, and just their halves, they're the decision makers, they're the spark in your attack. They've been very, very good. And even with Diskin out tonight, they were able to rotate that role amongst themselves when Shane Millard come off. And I thought it was very, very good. And I know people say they leaked some tries in the second half, but after half-time, they were absolutely breathtaking with their offloads and their attack. And I've got to say, I'll take my hat off to Wakefield. I thought there was a lot of positives there for Tony Smith from Wakefield tonight. I think he'll get a lot out of the game. They're not far off the mark. Just a couple of minor things in defence they could improve. But overall, I think both coaches will be very pleased, even though Tony Smith from Wakefield didn't win the game.
Yes, he didn't win the game. They might have got closer, Phil, mightn't they? That was a big call by the video referee. But every time they got down the Leeds end, they look dangerous.
And that's a big positive that Ian's speaking of, really. The fact that they can score points, they can trouble opponents. They need to control the ball a little bit better and get into those positions. But they are a dangerous side, a good team to watch. But they played against Leeds at the wrong time of year. June, weather, clear blue skies, hard pitch, lush grass. This is when they're at their best in front of the home fans.
Yeah, when they've got the South Stand behind them, they are in irresistible form, and they were. But, Steve-O, it could have been a lot closer. That was a big call by the video ref, don't you think?
Yeah, it certainly was, but I think we all agreed that Leeds had wrapped this game up very, very early in that second half. They were just devastating. Leeds, when they're on top form, you can't stop them. And Maguire, I know that Gareth Ellis won the man of the match, but Maguire, look at that, keeps the ball alive. Now, a lot of players would say, well, I've done my bit, I've kept them going. No, not this fella. He wants looking for it. And the way that they kept the ball alive, they were trying to get themselves into a good position. Where's he going? What is he going to do? He's done it twice. Now he wants it a third time. Throws a dummy as the strength. Outstanding. Burrow and Maguire surely have done enough to get the Great Britain nod. I hope so. They're playing absolutely wonderful. Lee Smith, he had a fine game again. Sinfield, back on the inside. And what can you say about Maguire? Watch Lee Smith come on the angle right from nowhere. He knows he's there. He must smell him. It's as simple as that. Absolutely superb. And this is the incident that I thought that the Wildcats were badly done to. To me, Lee Smith touches the ball and then loses it, so there's a knock on. Now, he's not going to know, Rooney, is he, that he hasn't got the ball. Now, to me, that brings into effect that he was going to the tackle. Even if he touched it, it should not have been a knock on, and I am very, very surprised that the video referee went against it. Okay, it would have made no difference to Leeds winning, but it does make a difference in one way. They go to the top over St Helens.
They do, on points difference. So Leeds are sitting there at the top of the table. If we're going to be churlish, Ian, a couple of those Leeds tries looked forward, didn't they? The last pass, couple.
Well, they might have looked marginal, but, you know, what I was impressed again, once their ability to support, their ability to anticipate, their ability to have confidence the bloke was going to pass the ball or he's going to get in a position to get a pass away, where they probably didn't have that same confidence at times, Wakefield, especially around Jeffries. Look, you know, I mean, it evens itself out. I would have liked to seen that try, Steve-O, be a try. For one reason, we went down the last probably 7 minutes, a 10-point game, and they were playing really well. Jeffries was starting to really make some inroads, and White with their speed around the ruck. So, yeah, I thought there were a couple of Leeds tries. I thought I would have went with them. I thought they're okay.
We've got about 10, 15 seconds. Phil, just one to you. Last week we were saying, can Wigan get out of the trouble? Can they get... They've won 2 in a row now. That's a start. Can Wakefield get out of trouble?
I think so, yeah. It's all about confidence, isn't it? If you've got the confidence, then you can play with some skill and ability and flair. They can score points. All those teams in the bottom half of the table are searching for confidence.
Well, if Wakefield are going to get out of trouble...